All right. Couple false starts, but here we go. Not much for you to talk about tonight. We're going to start off with, man, this is an old one. I put this one off to see it. I was like, I don't want to take my medicine and watch this movie. And it came in that Columbia box set. We throw this movie on like, all right, well, I guess we should probably see it because it's really old. Let me tell you, It Happened One Night is a masterpiece of character actors and comedy writing. It is so delightful. Claudette Colbert and Clark Gable and a million character actors, and it's Capra. Man, hey Darren, what's up, man? Just raving about It Happened One Night and how charming this movie is. You know, I wouldn't have picked it out of a lineup. I got this Columbia Pictures box set for other reasons. Honestly, the reason was the big reason was Lawrence of Arabia. Oh, it's on your list. You haven't seen it, dude. It's so good. It's so good and so funny. And like you think it's like going to be a dated romantic comedy, but it's so modern for a movie that was made like in the 30s. It's so modern.
That's because it's pre-code.
It's pre-code.
Yeah.
And so charming and funny. Delightful and like great contrast, black and white. We should watch it in the back. Like we'll preempt. Like it's tempting. We got to do 2001, but it's tempting to preempt it and do that picture because it's a little something for everyone, and it's got such great romantic tension between the two of them. Clark Gable is just so freaking effortless, and that's one of the things that always strikes me whenever I watch, you know, kind of in a weird kind of way, like Clark Gable and Cary Grant in particular, and Jimmy Stewart, Henry Fonda. When you see some of these guys, like the pre-Brando guys, Bogart too, and Cagney, like, yeah, we do have to do Once Upon a Time in the West, 100%. We have so much to see, so much. But like when you watch some of these guys pre-Brando, and Brando's kind of the marker of people saying, oh, that was when, you know, the modern acting again. But it's like you go back and you see some of these performances and you're like, it's so naturalistic and so grounded and so like Clark Gable is unreal. Yeah, it's fabulous. All right, next one. Jackie Brown. This movie, I mean, I saw it at midnight with my family because, like, you know, it's a Quentin Tarantino picture, and it was, I don't know when this came out, 96 maybe, 95. And it's a great heist picture and all the things, but, like, the romance, and it's like Robert Forster's so good, and Pam Grier, so, I mean, everyone was wonderful. But I watched it recently, and I just think about the end of the movie, and I get choked up. And it didn't hit me the same way when I was younger. And that movie hit me so hard this last time. I had just totally forgotten about the romance and the, like, why can't Jackie and Max Cherry, like, I don't know, man, like, it is one of all time one of the best screen kisses. And like the first time Ordell rolls up on Jackie and puts his hands around her neck and she threatens him back, like it's that she shows you how hard she is and how she's forged in those same streets. It's a masterpiece, man. Jackie Brown is it's just so good, and you know I'm glad that it's not overlooked. It's easy to overlook that picture in Tarantino's sort of catalog because it's not flashy. It doesn't have like the big set pieces like, you know, the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you know, finale or you know, so many other like things. But boy, Jackie Brown is a masterpiece, and it does speak to Tarantino's ability to write such mature dialogue and direct scenes with that tempo. You know, there was it's a great film to study for as an actor too, an actor of a certain age, to watch Robert Forster in particular as a male character actor. It's great. This is another one of those movies that I don't know that I would have picked up had it not been in those Columbia box sets, but I'm glad I have it, and it's Jerry Maguire. You know, Cameron Crowe's picture with Tom Cruise and Renee Zellweger and Cuba Gooding Jr. won his Academy Award for this picture, and Jonathan Lipnicki and Bonnie Hunt. Boy, what a great film. I haven't, the late great Kelly Preston, I haven't thrown it on in a minute, but we'll get caught up in it, talking about it to the kid. It's just one of those, you know, 90s romantic, you know, romantic kind of drama comedies that we don't get that often anymore. And you do get it like in television. We just started watching, Sherry started watching, she went down a rabbit hole of BBC shows with Sean Bean. Two series in particular that she just binged. One called Time, which is kind of like the BBC's version of Oz, the prison show, and then another one called Broken, and then where he plays like a priest, and she was like, just devastating, fantastic. And then we started watching a show called Marriage, and God, just breathtaking, fantastic television. And that's where, you know, movies like Jerry Maguire, that's where that's going. You know, we're not getting that on the big screen anymore, and I miss it because it's like, you know, it's just great to experience simple, small, beautiful, intimate, little changes on a big screen. I miss films like Jerry Maguire on the big screen, and it's nice to see it. All right. Shout Select did a beautiful release of the director's cut of JFK. I love this film. Oliver Stone has been an uneven director for me, but I love his big swings. I love JFK. I love how I mean, you've seen a lot of Kevin Costner in my collection. I just kind of realizing that I have a lot of Kevin Costner in my collection, but this one in particular, just it's a masterclass in editing and wild storytelling, and I mean it's a who's who, and it's one of those fascinating pictures that lives in this space of modern actors, you know, from Kevin Bacon and, you know, God, John Candy and Gary Oldman, but then you also got Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon and Tommy Lee Jones and Ed Asner and you know, Brian Doyle Murray. I mean, everybody is in this picture. And Donald Sutherland, that whole sequence is so great. And come on, John Williams' score for that film is just spectacular. It's a terrific script. It's just a big, unwieldy film, and what I really do appreciate about it too, Sissy Spacek, Wayne Knight. Yeah, what I love about it is that it at its heart, in particular at the end in the courtroom speech, that it's about it's not necessarily about Kennedy so much as it's about the promise of what this was supposed to be, and what it isn't, and what it can't be, and it's the aspirationally what it can be and what we strive for, and how the dream is something that's worth still trying to move the needle in little ways. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why I have this. I was charmed by it, and I was working for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, so I kind of collected a couple pictures. But I have Disney's Jungle Cruise. Hey, Lilo, and I mean, I really do love Emily Blunt. I think she's wonderful. I think DJ is actually pretty good in this film. It's stupid fun. The visual effects are crazy. It ain't Pirates of the Caribbean. I've watched it once. The score is actually pretty good, but yeah, it's just there. I'm holding on to it for whatever reason. It's there, you know. Jungle Cruise. What do you do? Another Disney live action experience here, Jungle Book. This I have for a couple reasons. And I love the animated version, and I really appreciate the aspects of what they did with the live action remake of this. I mean, there's part of it that you're like, why was this done? But then there's the other part of me that goes beyond that question is, okay, to create work, there's a bunch of puppeteers who worked on this who my wife knows. I'm fascinated by how they used practical effects and computer effects and married these things to tell this story. Scarlett Johansson's performance as Ka the snake is fantastic, as is Idris Elba as Shere Khan the tiger, and Christopher Walken as the gorilla, as the orangutan. Bill Murray is great as Baloo. It's a really atmospheric and interesting take and an interesting experiment. I don't know that every one of the remakes that Disney swings for is worth swinging for. And the Jungle Book was one of the first ones that they did. And you look at it and go, well, this was an ambitious attempt, and given what the subject matter and the source material is, I can get behind it. I think because of the amount of supplementals as well, and my interest as a filmmaker, I'm very curious about how they went about trying to make this work. And I think it's pretty fascinating. So that's why Jungle Book made the cut. All right, I'll finish up this page. We'll get through that, and then I'll call it a night. Come on, Jurassic Park. Yeah, it's classic. This movie, I remember, seeing in the theater and just having my cap peeled back. I was out here in Los Angeles at Universal Studios in 1991, and I bought a Jurassic Park T-shirt before the movie had come out with the logo and everything. And then seeing it that summer was just spectacular. And going to SIGGRAPH and seeing a screening with the ILM guys and talking with them about how they made it. And my buddy Darren Bailey worked on the post-convert of making this in 3D, and how great it looked. It's one of those movies that's just kind of run along the course of my life in different ways. And then, as I've said in plenty of these reels, this movie to me is about being a father, and that also resonates with me. And I revisit it, once every 2 years or whatever, and it's a demo disc, man. I mean, you put on Jurassic Park, everyone loves it. All right, but that's why it's there. Hey, now, if you haven't seen K-19 The Widowmaker, Here's a submarine picture. Oh, thank you for sharing that, Darren. Yeah. The defining movie of the trajectory of my life. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. I totally get that. And I have different pictures. This one is just, but it's right there alongside so many of those films for me. K-19, The Widowmaker. I believe this is directed by Catherine Bigelow of The Hurt Locker and Strange Days. And did she do Zero Dark 30? I believe she did. Maybe not. I think she did. But K-19, The Widowmaker, is Harrison Ford and Liam Neeson in a nuclear sub that has a nuclear meltdown, and it's a terrifying film that mirrors, in some respects, Wrath of Khan, and Hunt for Red October. Really good picture. Haven't watched it since I got it, just because it's super intense. But yeah, I'm a sucker for submarine movies. I really love them. And this one's got two of my favorite actors in it, and a great director. So this was one of those pictures, man. The Karate Kid, the original, Ralph Macchio, John Avildsen directs, right? I believe so. Yeah, John Avildsen directs, Pat Morita, Billy Zabka, Elizabeth Shue. I did not have this. I didn't seek it out. Karate Kid did not loom large in my life. It was, I'm Gen X. This dropped during the summer. I was like, yeah, I get it. I didn't get, I'm a Ghostbusters guy. I was a comedy guy. So those were the movies that I sought out. I didn't seek out the Karate Kid. I was bullied growing up, so I had my share of trauma surrounding it. So I didn't need to go see a movie about a kid getting picked on in school. I lived it, so felt like I didn't need to go and see it. And then we started watching Cobra Kai, and that changed everything. Dude, we got took body and soul by Cobra Kai, and then Sherry was like, dude, we got to go back and watch freaking, Karate Kid and get caught up on everything. And then every season, they roll in some more madness from, who's that guy? I don't know who that guy is. Who's Terry? What is the guy's name? Terry?
I don't know, but he's the ponytail.
Yeah, the guy with the ponytail. So we got to watch Karate Kid 2 so we know what the hell's going on. So, we just got took by so this really is about Cobra Kai, and so that's why we have Karate Kid. Last one I'm going to talk about tonight. I am a crazy fan of Kick-Ass. I think this movie really did launch my rediscovery of Nicolas Cage. His performance as Big Daddy in this film is, he's a psychopathic killer, he's a madman, but he's also a loving father. And when he trains Hit Girl, everybody, Mark Strong, the head villain in this, Kick-Ass is Matthew Vaughn directed. It just has such fantastic energy and comedy. It's an Edgar Wright movie that Edgar Wright didn't make. I just adore this film. Not a huge fan of Kick-Ass 2, but the original it just has all the things. And I just love it, and that's why it's here. And one of these days we'll watch it with the kid and enjoy it together in the backyard, because Kick-Ass is Kick-Ass. All right. That's it. How many did I cover? Jeez. A couple. But if you haven't, it happened one night. We'll start where we began. It's getting late. Calling her night. Thanks for joining. Peace. And Darren, thanks for chiming in. Really appreciate everyone popping in. It's always great to see your faces and see your names and see your contributions. Have a great one. Good night.